What's up? Laura Hockman, the medical matchmaker here. I have an interesting case today that I come across pretty often, and I'd really like to hear your opinion, so please do comment below. I'm very curious to hear what other physicians in the community think. I obviously have a very strong opinion, and if you follow my content, you know what that opinion will be, and I'll tell you at the end. But I have a physician right now who is interviewing, and she's been given two offers. The one offer is at a physician run, amazingly successful, wonderful practice with very little turnover, even in the medical assistants. The second offer is in a big hospital system. So, the question becomes, the hospital system is in a city she's already very familiar with. The private practice is in one that appeals to her, but is not one she's lived before and does cost somewhat higher to live there. So, what would you suggest? This is my thinking. I think best case scenario, worst case scenario for each. So let's take the hospital employed position. Worst case scenario, she hates it. She burns out. The non-compete is 30 miles. And remember, a non-compete is as the crow flies. It's not as you drive on Google Maps. So you want to pull up the radial miles on a map. Large non-compete, she hates it, she burns out, she leaves medicine entirely. Now, of course, that's a worst case scenario. I guess it can get worse, but that's pretty bad still. Best case scenario, she loves it, she stays there until the day she dies, nothing changes, admin is supportive, it goes well. Looking at the private practice, worst case, so go back to the big hospital system. So in the big hospital system, worst case scenario, things go poorly, and she leaves. She can either go to another hospital system or find a private practice or start her own or leave medicine entirely, of course. Let's go to the private practice here. So worst case scenario, she really doesn't like it. Cost of living is high, and so maybe it's a little bit of a strain on their family financially. In that case, she leaves. She can still go back to that hospital employed position, whether it's that one or another one. They're all the same. I guess they're not all the same, but they're pretty much all the same. And she can either go back to the original city or stay in the city that she's now settled and really like it. I mean, it's a really nice city. Best case scenario, financially, she is rocking it. She becomes partner in the practice. So this practice is extremely profitable. The owner of the practice is not just an amazing physician, she's an amazing human being. She's an amazing businesswoman. This practice is killing it. And this is a physician-owned private practice. This is not a hospital-employed position. So if things go according to plan, she'll make partner in 3 years. She will do extremely well financially. She'll work in a practice where she and everyone else is really happy waking up to go to work every day. And, she gets a piece of a business. She gets to own a business. So, in that case, if she doesn't like it, she goes back to a hospital system or maybe starts her own thing. I don't know. What do you think? So if you follow my content, you know what my opinion is. The benefit of private practice is you have autonomy. If there's something you don't like, you can change it. If you're not partner in the practice, there's a very high likelihood that the owner of the practice works in the practice themselves and is seeing patients right alongside you. And so if something doesn't work, they change it. That's not necessarily the case in the big systems where if something goes poorly, you can scream until you're blue in the face and nothing gets done. And of course, that's not always the case, but that's the case. The private practice does not have an onerous non-compete because it is run by a human being and not an anonymous system. And of course, there's the ability to negotiate in the contract and all of that. So, my opinion. I'm all for autonomy and physician-led care and all of that. But please do comment below. I would really be interested to hear what all of you think. Physicians, administrators, nurses, anyone watching this, let me know what you think.